Welcome to Venture Forward. It's August 2023. I'm northbound in Nevada and adventure is afoot. As of right now, I've embarked on an extended trip, which marks a new chapter of Venture Forward and a new adventure. I'm heading northwest in our 2021 Winnebago Revel to spend a month, maybe 2 months in the field exploring and having experiences. And in a couple weeks, my girlfriend Shannon will be joining me and we'll be out here recording video together. But for now, it's just me, and I've been driving all day out of southern Arizona to get out of the desert, to get out of the 100-degree temperatures, and to just venture into a different part of the country. I know if you've been watching Venture Forward for the past year, been spending a lot of time in the Arizona desert. Now we're gonna mix things up a little bit and see some new places. But I have to get there, and that's a whole lot of driving. This morning I was trying to figure out which way I wanted to go, and at first I was thinking head up 395 in California and target Mammoth. It would have been a lovely drive because the eastern Sierras are beautiful, and then once you get into Mammoth, the temperature drops and it'd be a comfortable night of sleep. Number one, that would have taken 10 hours from southern Arizona. Number two, diesel prices in California are still $1 higher a gallon than they are everywhere else. But since I'm trying to cover as much ground as I can in one day, I decided to go up through Arizona, cross into Nevada, and target the town of Tonopah. Diesel prices are better, and this is a somewhat more tolerable 9-hour drive. And also, I have a dispersed campsite in mind south of Tonopah. So I already know where I'm going to spend the night. It's safe, there's good privacy, and I can find it in the dark if need be. I left home at 9 a.m. and it is now 8:56, 9 p.m. I got here about an hour ago, stopped for lunch at Taco Bell in Wickenburg. It was about 9-10 hours. It was a lot of driving. This campsite Shannon and I found in fall of 2021. It was right before we went into Death Valley. But anyway, I am going to call it a night, and tomorrow morning I'll look at... I have no idea where I'm going from here, except north and northwest. I don't know. I'm not looking at a map tonight. I will figure that out in the morning. This site is just as lovely and as well groomed as last time I was here. It was a little bit warm when I went to bed last night, maybe in the mid-80s, but this morning, low 70s, it is very comfortable out. I'm about 2.5 miles from pavement down a very gentle track, and pretty much any vehicle can get here. It's flat, it's private, it's very quiet. There's enough room for about 2 or 3 vehicles and maybe a ground tent or 2. I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna head north to Tonopah, Nevada, get coffee if I can find a coffee shop, and from there I'll decide where I'm going next. and I'll close it when I'm through. I enjoyed coffee this morning at the Belvada Coffee Shop, which is adjacent to the historic Belvada Hotel in Tonopah, Nevada. It was a really nice old structure from the early 1900s, which I believe was restored fairly recently. The coffee was decent, the atmosphere was great, and I used that time to sit down at my computer and figure out my next moves. So I've set a course northwest to Sacramento, California, and I'm not going to Sacramento specifically. I'm just using it to set my direction out of Nevada and then into California and over the Sierra Mountains. But once I get into the Sierras, I'm going to start improvising and let curiosity be my guide. So if I see a forest road that looks interesting, I might explore it, or a point of interest, I might stop. So this will be mostly uncharted territory for me, and I'm excited to see where we'll end up. We are finally in the trees, or I am in the trees. I mean, you are kind of in the trees too. It's currently 6,000 feet. So it's not so high, but sure feels like it. Wow, mountain stream down the hill from camp. What a slice of heaven this is. This is incredible. This is the best place to take a break after 2 days, about 14 hours of driving. My campsite is just up the hill on a forest road spur. It's accessible by any stock four-wheel drive vehicle. I didn't see anyone else, but there were 2 ground tents set up at another campsite about 100 yards away from my own. I imagine this spot is fairly popular and probably gets pretty busy at times, but certainly not on a Tuesday in August. I am actually chilly right now. It might be 65 degrees Fahrenheit, It's been very toasty in southern Arizona for the past couple months. Evenings get down to about 80 degrees, and every day has been over 100, and I've gotten used to that. So this temperature right now, it's comfortable, and I'm going to sleep well, but it feels unusual. It's day 3 of my northbound adventure, and I got an early start this morning. I've already been driving 3 hours. I'm past Sacramento, California, and I'm to the north. I'm currently waiting in traffic at some road construction. All right, here we go. When I'm on a road trip like this and I search for interesting places for dispersed camping in the van, unless it's urgent, I don't rely on any apps to tell me where a campsite is. Instead, I look at forest road networks on both OnX Off-Road and Gaia GPS. And then I just enjoy myself and wander on said roads, and I almost always find a lovely place to spend the night, like last night. You'd be surprised how easy it is to find safe and interesting places just by being curious and exploring. Wow, it's burned, but it is so peaceful and eerily beautiful. You can pull your vehicle right up to the lake. There's a stocked out house and bear-proof trash cans that are clearly maintained. I don't like to camp in burns for safety reasons because of the risk of deadfall and falling debris, so I'm going to keep exploring, but there is no denying that this is a lovely spot. Alright, I've found it, and I can mark this off my bucket list. Camp tonight is at the top of a volcano. Yeah, it's ancient and dormant, but I was driving through the area, and on Gaia GPS, I saw this forest road on the motor vehicle use map that wound to the top of this dome. It's not a long track. I think maybe it's a mile in length down to the main forest road. But I gave it a go in the van. It had no problem. And at the top, right as I entered the bowl, there's a dispersed campsite. So I have privacy. It doesn't look like people come up this way very often. Great view of the sky for Starlink so I can do my interneting. And it's in a volcano. I mean, who can resist camping in a volcano? I don't smell sulfur or anything. If the mountain happens to start talking for the first time in a trillion years during my stay, then I'm going to peace out. But I have a good feeling about this. This is a great spot. I'm beat. Southern Arizona to Northern California in 3 days with some adventure thrown in. It's gonna feel good to hang out here and slow my roll a little bit for the next couple days. But I'm gonna call that a wrap and call it an early night. If you're interested in retracing my steps and seeing these places for yourself, my detailed GPS data is available to Patreon subscribers and also to paid members of Venture4WD.com. Your subscription, your support is greatly appreciated. It helps keep the show on the road. I hope you all enjoyed coming along with me on this road trip. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week.